Hey guys, Matt aka Martiln here. Unfortunately, today there's not going to be a Make a Track Monday because I've been so flat out busy over the past week that I just haven't had a chance to get started on it. So instead what I'm going to do is a really quick video showing you a really cool way of creating atmospheric percussion loops in Ableton. Let's jump right in. Alright, so here we are in Ableton Live. I've just got a single audio track set up here because that's all we need to do this really cool little quick trick here that I'm about to show you. So what I'm going to do first is just grab any random kind of loop sample. I'm just going to go into my samples here, scroll through, I don't know, let's go to, what's this? This sounds pretty cool. Let's drag this in. So I'm just going to drag it to say 8 bars and I'm just going to crop the sample there. Now in the sample, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the warp mode of it so that it's on beats, and then preserve 16th notes. You can also input your own transients and make it a different kind of rhythm if you want to, but for this I'm just going to do 16th notes, and then change it so that it's just on the off or the forward segment kind of part of the beats warp mode, so that each segment only plays once depending on the envelope that you set. So then we're also going to set the transient envelope. We're just going to play around with this until we get kind of a nice percussion sound that we like. So I'm just going to hit play here and just muck around with this. This seems pretty cool just here. So I'm also going to just transpose it up a little bit. Nice and clicky and kind of high. So the next thing I'm going to do is drag in a ping pong delay onto this channel, and I'm going to set it to 16th notes, or the one beat division. From here I'm going to drag up the beat offset just a tiny little bit so that each delay doesn't hit the exact same time that the new note is triggering in the actual audio sample itself. And then just drag the dry wet down and the feedback down a little bit. And you can hear the ping pong delay going on there. You can also play around with the bandpass filter that is on the ping pong delay. You can have it up high a little bit. And just play around with these settings to your liking. The next thing I'm going to do is drag in an auto filter. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do with the auto filter is set it onto a bandpass and then drag that filter frequency down a little bit. And now what's cool is you can now set an LFO on this filter, which is awesome. And that gets you part of the way there. But where the LFO on this filter really shines, I feel, is the spin mode. So down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the auto filter window, you can click on this little icon just here, which changes it from phase to spin. And basically what spin does is detunes the left and right LFOs relative to each other. So whereas phase offsets them, spin detunes them from each other. So you get this constantly kind of moving sound, which sounds really cool. So if drag the spin all the way up to 50%, now you get to start to hear this kind of side to side movement happening. Drag up the resonance a bit. And this is where you can start to play around with the filter settings as well. So if you maybe change it to a 12 dB slope, maybe give it a bit of drive, change the rate, put the amount up. I think that sounds pretty cool. The next thing you can do is actually automate the filter frequency. So just randomly click and drag up and down. You don't want to go too drastic because then it will sound like filter sweeps. You just want it to kind of sound quite natural, is what I've found is the best way of doing it. So even that's a bit too much just there. Cool. Next thing you want to do is, of course, add some reverb. And this just then takes the sound into a whole another atmospheric kind of level. So just change the settings to your liking. Maybe make it big, really, really stereo. Up the chorus, up the diffusion and stuff. Really, really cool, basic kind of atmospheric percussion loop just here. And then, of course, you can go on with some other stuff. You could maybe add a bit of a flanger if you wanted to, with a slight kind of LFO. You could even add another delay after the auto filter if you wanted to, on a different rate maybe. And play around with the original sound, so you could start to EQ it a little bit. And maybe throw in some compression in there as well. And if you want to go back in, you can also play around with that original transient envelope. And there you have a really, really cool little way of creating a nice atmospheric percussion loop in Ableton Live using pretty much any sound you want. That's it for this video. Nice, short and sweet, and hopefully you learned something and are able to use this technique in your own productions to create really cool atmospheric breakdowns and sections with some intricate, random, delayed, reverbed out percussion loops. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you really, really enjoy my content, consider heading over to my Patreon page and supporting me on there. I'm starting to update that a lot now, so make sure to head over there and support me to get some really cool stuff. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Martin, and I'll see you in the next video.